folks, thank you for checking out my video. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough on how to properly wire your batteries in series and in parallel connections so that you can meet the power requirements of your electrical device. In the process, I am also going to walk through the features of the batteries as well. So this way you'll have an understanding of the battery ratings and so forth as you wire your batteries either in series connection or in parallel connection. Please stay tuned and I will walk you through the whole process. Okay, let us start with the series connection. So the main purpose of connecting your batteries in series is to increase the voltage level. For example, I have an electric motor here, and as you can see, the motor requires 24 volts DC to operate. So we are talking DC, direct current. We're not talking about alternating current, which is AC. So in this example, the electric motor requires 24 volts, and to each of the batteries here has a volt rating at 12 volts. So each of these guys here is a 12 volt battery. So in order to meet the 24 volts requirements of this electric motor, you have to increase the voltage level. In order to do that, you have to add the batteries together to get the 24 volts that you need. Now, if your electrical device is rated for 36 volts, for example, or 48 volts, for example, then you will have to add additional batteries into the circuit to meet that power requirements. But again, the main purpose of connecting your batteries in series is to increase the voltage level, not necessarily, the amperage of the battery. Before we go on to wire the batteries together, I just wanted to go over a number of concepts so you have a better understanding of the battery's performance and features. So the first item here, of course everybody should be aware where the negative terminals and the positive terminals are. In lead acid battery, the positive terminal is coded red, and there's usually a plus sign as well. I'm not sure if you can see here to indicate positive terminals, and the negative terminals is color coded as black. You can't see here because it's black, but there's also a negative symbol here as well. So just be aware and be familiar of which terminal is a negative terminal and which one is a positive terminal so you can wire the batteries correctly. The other items that I wanted to point out is the battery rating itself. In this particular battery, it is rated for 12 volts at 5 amp hours at 20 hours. So that can be confusing. The first number here is the level of voltage, the amount of voltage this battery puts out. The second number here is the amp hours. The amp hours refers to the battery capacity. So that is the charge capacity that this particular battery can hold over time. And that's why the hour is part of that indication there. So what this means is that if you have a device, for example, that requires 5 amps to operate, this battery will give you an hour of runtime. Another example would be if you were to discharge the battery at 1 amp. If you're running a device using 1 amp of current, then you would have 5 hours of runtime. So the last number here is 20 hours. So this particular rating is the ideal time frame that the battery manufacturer wants you to use this battery. So it gives you the constant rate of current that can be discharged within the 20 hours time frame. So in order to find what that constant current rate is, you have to do a little math. So you simply take the 5 amp hours and divide it by 20 to get that constant rate of current. So when you divide 5 amp hours by 20 hours, you get 250 milliamps. Okay, so this is the rate of current that the manufacturer wants you to operate with this battery. But normally I don't pay too much attention to the 20 hours rating, and that is because the electrical devices that I use don't often rate it for exactly 250 milliamps. Some are less, some are more. But the amp hours information itself will give me a good enough indication of how much current I need to run and how much runtime I will have for my projects. So another item that I want to point out is that when you make a series connection, you don't want to mix batteries that don't have the same rating. For example, this one here has a 12 volt at 7 amps. Although it's 12 volts, it has more amperage. So you don't want to mix this battery with these to do your series connection. You want the batteries to be rated the same, at the same capacity. The same one here too. This one is also a 12 volt battery, but it has a 12 amp hours rating on it. You definitely don't want to mix this with these, for your series connection. You want the battery to have the same voltage and amp hour rating. So what I normally do before I make the series connection is I take a measurement of each of the batteries. The reason is that although it's rated for 12 volts, the capacity of the battery might not be fully charged. It might not be at 12 volts. It might be at 6 volts. So in this case, if you were to connect without taking the measurement, without making sure that the battery have the same starting point, you're not going to get the 12 volts that you need or the 24 volts that you need to run your devices. So here's a multimeter. Let's see what this first one gives us. Okay, I see this is 12.14 volts, which is okay. It's not fully charged. Usually the batteries can go up to maybe around 13 volts. Let's see the second one there, around 12.30. Third one, 12.25, 12.24. They're at about a similar capacity to start with, so that's fine. You can make the series connection with that. But if one of these happens to be discharged to 6 volts, for example, then you need to charge it up to 12 volts. The reason you don't want to connect them while this one is at 6 volts is because the 6 volts is going to dictate the voltage level the circuit is going to put out. Just like when you're driving a vehicle with a flat tire, that flat tire is going to cause the car to go slower. The same thing with batteries. The low voltage battery is going to control the circuit. The reason for that is that, say for example, you make that direct connection. So when you do that, the fully charged battery is going to charge the deflated, the low voltage battery. While it does so, it's going to increase the level of voltage a little bit here, but it's going to decrease this one from 12. So you won't get your 12. When you add it together, you won't get your 24 volts or 36 volts. The other reason I wouldn't do that is because when you directly wire these two batteries together, this one has a low potential. It's going to draw a lot amount of amperage from this battery here, which is not a good thing to do, because when you charge the battery charger has a way of controlling the amount of current going to this battery. So without a charger, this battery is going to unload a lot of amperage into here. And this battery is not designed to take a large amount of current at one time. So eventually you're going to harm this battery and it's not going to work efficiently. So again, making sure that each of the battery has the same starting point when you connect them in series. With that, let's make that connection. I already pre-wire the wires here to make the connection. So when you connect a series, what you're doing is you connect one end of the battery, which is a negative, to the positive end of another battery. Boom. And then you connect the other one here. So this is, you're trying to get 36 volts. One end there, and then one end there. Okay, so combined, you have 36 volts to work with. The amperage is the same. Now you have 36 at 5 amp hours. You don't increase the amperage. You only increase the voltage level. So now you notice that you have two ends. One is positive and one is negative. And this is where you hook up your positive wire and negative wire to whatever device, whatever load that you are planning to connect them to. So the other thing that I want to point out while we're doing this is notice that the length of the wire here is the same as this one here. So you want the length of each of the wires to be the same. You want the size of the wires to also be the same so that the circuit can operate efficiently. So with that, let's move on to the parallel connection. Now, with the parallel connection, the same rules applies regarding making sure each battery has the same capacity with the starting point and not mixing different batteries together, right? Like a bigger size battery with smaller size battery, you want to make sure that all the batteries have the same voltage rating and amperage rating, okay? So with parallel connection, it's a little bit different. Now, the focus here is to increase the amp hours. When you make that parallel connection, the voltage will stay the same. So although there's 3 batteries here, you're only going to get 12 volts, but you're going to get more amps out of this configuration to run devices that requires more amperage. To make a parallel connection, I also pre-wire these as well. What you do is you connect all the negative terminals together and all the positive terminal together. Here, let me show you, just in case you don't know how to put the wires together. What it is 2 wires. I strip the wires like so and take off the insulator here, and I've kind of twisted like so. For the terminal, for this particular battery, I'm going to use this terminal here. Now I can just insert the 2 wires into the terminal like that, and I will use a clamper or plier and just kind of clamp it together like so. Then you have that connection. So now you have 2 wires going to 1 terminal, so you can make that parallel connection. So here I have 3 terminals here, 1 for each one. So you hook it up to the negative, from one negative to the other negative like so. There we go, boom. And you would do the same with the positive. So here I'm going to start with this end and then have the terminal lead from here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So just one safety tips when you wire the batteries together, make sure you don't wear anything like with metal, gold, or whatever conductive, because if your necklace, for example, would touch the negative terminal and positive terminal, you might shock yourself, right? So here the wires are parallel, all negative in one line and all positive in one line. So you notice that I have the terminal here at the end from here and here and not here. The reason I'm doing that is because if you were to have the positive terminal coming out from here and then you connect it to your electrical device, then this particular battery here will do the bulk of the work, and that might not be good for this particular battery. Eventually it will be damaged. So you want to evenly distribute the work. To do so, you have the lead at one end here and then the negative lead at one end here. So this way the power is evenly distributed going to the load. Again, the purpose of the parallel connection is to increase the amperage. So now you have 15 amp hours to work with. So whatever device that you operate originally, if it lasts, say, 1 hour out of this particular battery, now it's going to last you 3 times as long with this configuration. So with that, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you again for taking the time to watch the video. If you did find it helpful, please give me a like or consider subscribing to my channels. That would help me a lot. Also, I want to take a few seconds to thank those of you who already subscribed to me. Thank you for your support throughout the last couple of years. It definitely helped, as the more people subscribe, the more my videos will go out to other people to explore, and hopefully that will also help other people too if they're interested in learning more about batteries or other DIY projects that I have. Again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.